Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music. And here we go, folks. A little coronavirus update for you. Well, we all know what's afflicting the country right now. We all know we stay in place, stay at home, stay away from people, which is great. I think that's the proper thing to do right now, given we at least know how the coronavirus spreads from person to person. We already know that. We already know it's an airborne disease. An airborne virus. We do know that. So I'm not going to try to play doctor here. I'm not going to try and play scientist. What I'm here to point out to you folks is how the President of the United States continues to mislead the American public about this coronavirus. All the way from when it first touched our shores to where he called it a hoax, that it was a Democratic hoax to get to for his re-election bid. He had his cronies at Fox News. But what I want you to see here is, for those of you that know how to read body language and facial expressions, you see this Navy corpsman, this Navy doctor that's right on the left-hand side of your screen, right up under the picture of Jesse Dollemore, where I got this clip from. Thank you, Jesse. And my black face there, the Invisible Man face. You see that Navy corpsman right there? I want you to watch his facial expressions when Trump starts to talk. Don't pay attention to Trump. Look at his expressions, and you'll tell me if anything that Trump said that this man agreed with. Look for yourself. He looks disgusted. He looks bewildered. Looks like he wants to stop Trump at times and say, ho, this shit ain't right. You can't be telling people this, man. Look for yourself.
Almost all instances, but we have a great system. And the other thing that we bought a tremendous amount of is the hydroxychloroquine.
That was look number one. Did you see that? It was like,
Hydroxychloroquine, which I think, as you know, it's a great malaria drug. It's worked unbelievably. It's a powerful drug.
Now, in that particular look right there, he's not looking at Trump. He's now looking at the paper that they give, the briefing paper that they gave Trump, and wondering what he is reading. What the hell are you looking at? What is on that paper that said anything about that? It's obvious that what's on that paper is not what Trump is talking about.
On malaria. And there are signs that it works on this, some very strong signs. And in the meantime, it's been around a long time. It also works very powerfully on lupus. So there are some very...
Now, let me stop that right there. Who does lupus affect mostly, folks? You do your homework on this. If this particular drug that Trump is spouting, if it works, and of course, what do you think the next thing is going to happen? Of course, there's the price of this lupus drug is going to skyrocket. Also, who's it going to affect? With no disrespect to white folks, but lupus is not a disease that affects your community as it affects black, brown, and yellow folks. That's science. I didn't guess that. That's science. Go look it up.
Very strong, powerful signs, and we'll have to see, because again, it's being tested now. This is a new thing that just happened to us, the invisible enemy, we call it. And if you can...
Again, looking at the paper, why he's not reading from the paper? It's obvious Trump is looking down, but why is he not reading what's on that paper?
And if you have no signs of heart problems, the azithromycin.
Deep breath. Good God. I wish I could knock his ass out of the way and give these people the right scoop. This is a doctor over here, folks. This is a Navy corpsman. It's obvious that he has some type of rank on him. You ask me how I know? Because I was in the military. I can see the U.S. Navy, and I can see the patch on his shoulder there that says he's a corpsman. He's not a lying corpsman. He's up there in the upper echelons of it, or it's obvious he would not be up there at the White House briefing. He is not your standard, average, garden, run-of-the-mill doctor. He's ahead of somebody, a whole lot of somebodies.
uh, which will kill certain things that you don't want living within your body. It's a powerful drug. If you don't have a problem, a heart problem, we would say let your doctor think about it. But as a combination, I think they're going to be, I think there's two things that should be looked at very strongly. Now, we have purchased and we have stockpiled 29 million pills of the hydroxychloroquine, 29 million. A lot of drugstores have them by prescription, and also, and they're not expensive. We're sending them to.
Another one of those looks. Now you're going to tell people to go out to your local drugstore and buy this pill. Also, he says, you'll hear Trump say, it's not bad to take it before. You mean to tell me you're going to go out there and use a drug that we just told you, that the doctors just told you is good for lupus, malaria? You just can't go to the drugstore and buy this, folks. This is a prescription drug. You just can't go to your local drugstore and say, hey, give me this. Because I heard the president on the TV of the United States say that this is gonna slow down the coronavirus. If I told you to go buy 2 bad tires and it was going to help you with the coronavirus, would you do it? That's pretty asinine, don't you think?
Various labs, our military, we're sending them to the hospitals, we're sending them all over. I just think it's something, the expression, I've used it for certain reasons. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
How about your life? How about that, Trump? How about millions of American lives? That's what we have to lose. How about that?
And a lot of people are saying that when, and are taking it, if you're a doctor, a nurse, a first responder, a medical person going into hospitals, they say taking it before the fact is good, but what do you have to lose? They say take it. I'm not looking at it.
I noticed, even though the doctor's face was out of the camera lens, you can tell his displeasure just by his body movements. It was like, God, here we go again. What do you mean, what do you have to lose? These folks, you talk about these people out there playing Russian roulette with their lives. That's basically what you're saying. What do you have to lose? Your life.
One way or the other. But we want to get out of this. If it does work, it would be a shame if we didn't do it early. But we have some very good signs. So that's hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin. And again, you have to go through your medical people, get the approval. But I've seen things that I sort of like. So what do I know? I'm not a doctor.
Now, is that an oh shit moment? Or a no shit moment? No shit, you're not a doctor. So why are we listening to you?
I'm not a doctor, but I have common sense. Talk about.
That's right. Talk about your all shit moments. And there's the guy that I got this clip from. His name is Jesse Dollemore. Okay? So, folks, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Fox and Friends News and show you why we're in such trouble, why we're so behind the power curve when it comes to this coronavirus. Because number one, the president didn't take it serious. And his state TV over there, which a lot of people do watch, but because Fox News was reporting this as some kind of democratic strategy to dethrone this president, that was the narrative that they pushed over there. Not by one of them, by all of them. So much so that folks are now considering suing Fox News for passing out bad information to the American people. Now watch all of them. All their top shows say the very same talking points. Or it's not say, but use the very same talking points. Let's click over and get to that. Here it is, folks. 4 of the main mouthpieces for Fox News. Sean Hannity, Judge Jeannie Pinheiro, whatever her name is. I don't even know who this lady is, and this other guy in the corner, I don't know him either. But it's obvious that they're on the upper echelons of their shows considered over at Fox News over there. But listen what they have to say about the coronavirus first.
Scaring the living hell out of people, and I see it again as like, oh, let's bludgeon Trump with this new hoax. By the way, this program has always taken the coronavirus seriously, and we've never called the virus a hoax.
I feel like the more I learn about this, the less there is to worry about.
I was about to say the same thing. Let me tell you something. This virus should be compared to the flu, because at worst case scenario, it could be the flu.
So all the talk about coronavirus being so much more deadly doesn't reflect reality. Without a vaccine, the flu would be far more deadly.
This is yet another attempt to impeach the president. And sadly, it seems they care very little for any of the destruction they are leaving in their wake.
We don't have immunity to this virus. It's a new virus. It's a pandemic strain of a virus we haven't seen before.
You know, it's critical we know who has this. We must test for the virus in order to stop the spread of it.
We are facing an incredibly contagious and dangerous virus that is moving across the world from one hotspot to another.
We kind of laugh at it. There's nothing to laugh at here. By the way, this program has always taken the coronavirus seriously, and we've never called the virus a hoax.
What do you think, folks? Just from that clip right there, you can obviously see that Sean Hannity is a liar. That Trish Regan is a liar. That doctor who's supposed to protect lives is a liar. Judge Jeannie Pinheiro is a liar. But the thing about it is, folks, they were okay with this lie as long as Trump didn't take this hoax seriously, this virus, as he called it, hoax seriously. But as soon as folks started dying, started dropping off in the drones, and as soon as that number started piling up on them, all of a sudden, yeah, we need to take this seriously. Now, you saw some of the dates, you saw some of the times, and you saw who said what. Now, as a watcher of Fox News, if I was relying on these folks for valid information, I'd be dead. Instead of telling people, remain away from people, stay in your home if your job is not critical, if you can afford to stay at home. There's thousands and millions of people that can't afford to stay at home. I'm one of them. But my health is more important. Better live chicken than a dead duck. Now, money can be replaced. Some of us are going to fall on hard times. We really are. Some of us won't recover from this in the first 2 to 3 weeks after. Some of us may never recover from this, meaning that you died from this. Why didn't these folks take this seriously? Because they're all at the behest of the President of the United States. I'm through talking now.